Cardi B knows exactly how to make a night in New York City feel like an event, and this time she did it without needing a huge stage, a red carpet, or a massive production. She simply stepped out, surrounded by her people, cameras flashing, fans watching, and suddenly everybody had something to talk about. The Bronx superstar was recently spotted celebrating her latest music in New York City at a private party connected with Lions Group NY, and the photos from the night immediately started making waves. And honestly, Cardi looked like Cardi. She was confident, glamorous, completely in her element, and wearing an outfit that was impossible to ignore. She stepped out in a fitted white top paired with eye-catching mint green pants, matching heels, sparkling jewelry, and those signature long pink nails. It was one of those looks that felt very Cardi B because it wasn't trying to be quiet. It was bold, it was feminine, it was flashy, and most importantly, it looked like she was having fun. That part matters because Cardi has been very open lately about wanting to enjoy her summer, spend time with her family, and live life without allowing outside pressure to control her schedule. Just days before these latest New York celebrations, Cardi spoke openly about fans complaining about her music release schedule, and instead of allowing that pressure to get to her, she basically made it clear that she's going to move at her own pace. That is actually an important part of Cardi's story right now, because when you have reached the level that Cardi B has reached, everybody suddenly has an opinion. Fans want another song, they want another music video, they want another album, they want another performance, they want another viral moment. And when you're one of the biggest names in hip-hop, people can start treating your creativity like a machine that should never stop. But Cardi has been sending a different message. She's saying, I'm going to enjoy myself. And this New York night looked like a perfect example of that mindset. She wasn't standing there looking stressed, she wasn't hiding from the cameras, she wasn't acting like she needed to prove anything. She looked comfortable, she looked happy, and she looked like somebody who knew exactly why she was there. The setting itself added another layer to the moment. New York City at night already has a certain energy. The lights, the cameras, the people outside the venue, the photographers trying to get that one perfect shot, friends moving around, security trying to keep things organized, everybody looking for the next celebrity moment. And right in the middle of it all was Cardi B. The photographs show her surrounded by people as she made her way through the crowd, with photographers and fans capturing the moment from every direction. There was even a point where Cardi appeared to be carefully guided through the crowd, which tells you just how much attention she was receiving. Because once Cardi steps outside, there is no such thing as a normal night. You could put Cardi B in a completely ordinary parking lot, and somehow 5 minutes later, it would look like Fashion Week. That's just the Cardi effect. And this particular outfit was definitely getting attention. The white top gave the look a clean, glamorous feel, while those mint green pants added a bright pop of color. Then came the jewelry. The bracelets were sparkling, the necklaces were catching the camera flashes, the watch was impossible to miss, and those long pink nails added another unmistakable Cardi B detail. It was a full look from head to toe, but what really stood out was her confidence. She didn't look like somebody who was trying to convince people that she belonged in the room. She looked like somebody who already knew she belonged there. And that confidence has become one of the most recognizable parts of Cardi's public image. Think about how far she's come. Cardi B went from being a New York personality that people discovered online to becoming one of the defining female rappers of her generation. Her breakthrough wasn't built around looking perfect all the time. It was built around personality, her humor, her honesty, her accent, her energy, her ability to say exactly what she was thinking, sometimes before anybody else could even process what she had said. And that authenticity became part of her brand. That's why nights like this still feel important, because underneath all the jewelry, designer pieces, cameras, and celebrity attention, there's still that same woman who understands how to connect with people. And Cardi's fans don't just follow the music, they follow Cardi. They want to see what she's wearing, they want to know what she's eating, they want to know what she's saying, they want to know who she's hanging out with, they want to know what she's working on, and yes, they want to know what's coming next musically. That's why a simple night out can become a major entertainment story. And the timing makes it even more interesting. Cardi recently released her solo single, Aha, and the song has already given fans another reason to pay attention. According to reporting from People, the track helped Cardi reach her 30th career top 10 entry on Billboard's Hot Rap Songs chart, extending her streak of placing at least one top 10 song on that chart in each of the last 10 years. That's not a small accomplishment, that's consistency. And consistency is something people sometimes overlook when talking about Cardi B. People remember the viral moments, they remember the outfits, they remember the interviews, they remember the memes. But behind all of that is a career that has continued to produce major records and major chart moments. So when she celebrates a new release, it's not just another party, it's another chapter, another moment to say, I'm still here. And that may be one of the most interesting things about Cardi right now. She's not chasing the same version of herself that existed years ago. She's growing, she's experimenting, she's becoming more comfortable with slowing down when she needs to, and she's making it clear that she doesn't want the internet deciding how she should live her life. That's especially important because celebrity culture can be exhausting. Fans can feel connected to an artist because they listen to their music every day. They see their posts, they watch interviews, they celebrate their wins. They sometimes even feel like they know the celebrity personally. But there's still a line between supporting somebody and demanding constant access to their creativity. Cardi recently addressed exactly that kind of pressure. During an X Spaces conversation, she explained that fan complaints about her music release schedule don't necessarily motivate her to work harder. In fact, she said the opposite reaction can happen. She has talked about taking the summer off, enjoying herself, and focusing on living her life. And looking at these New York photos, it really does feel like she's following through on that promise. She's outside.
She's dressed up. She's celebrating. She's surrounded by friends and supporters. She's enjoying New York, and she's allowing herself to have a moment. That's something artists deserve too. We often forget that behind every album, every tour, every music video, every interview, there is an actual person. A person who gets tired. A person who wants to laugh. A person who wants to spend time with family. A person who sometimes wants to put the phone down. Cardi has been working at an incredibly high level for years. She has toured, she has recorded, she has performed, she has dealt with criticism, she has dealt with public conversations about her personal life, and through it all, she's continued building her career. So maybe this moment in New York isn't really about the outfit. Maybe it isn't even about the party. Maybe it's about seeing Cardi in a moment where she appears to be enjoying the life she worked so hard to build. And let's talk about the party energy for a second, because from these photographs, this wasn't some stiff, overly controlled celebrity appearance. There was movement. There were people everywhere. Cameras were flashing. Friends and security were around her, and Cardi looked completely comfortable navigating the chaos. At one point, she was seen interacting with the people around her, smiling and moving through the crowd. That kind of environment is very different from a traditional red carpet. On a red carpet, celebrities know exactly where to stand. They know where the cameras are. They post, they answer questions, then they move on. But at a private New York party, things are much more unpredictable. People are talking, music is playing, phones are out, friends are moving around, and every few seconds another camera flash goes off. That's where Cardi seems to thrive. She has always been somebody who understands how to turn an ordinary moment into something memorable, and this night was no different. Even her fashion choices seem to say, yes, I know you're looking. The mint green pants were one of the biggest talking points because they gave the entire look a playful summer feel. The white top kept everything balanced. The matching shoes tied the colors together, and the bright pink nails gave the look that extra Cardi B personality. It's glamorous, but it doesn't feel overly serious, and that's very much her lane. Cardi has never been afraid of fashion that gets people talking. Sometimes she goes elegant, sometimes she goes dramatic, sometimes she goes completely over the top, and sometimes she combines all three. That's part of why fashion photographers love her. There is always something happening, there is always a detail to notice, and there is almost always a conversation waiting to happen. But perhaps the biggest story here isn't what Cardi wore, it's the energy behind the moment.
Because Cardi is in a stage of her career where she doesn't have anything left to prove. She already proved she could have a #1 hit. She already proved she could dominate streaming. She already proved she could headline major stages. She already proved she could sell out arenas. Her Little Miss Drama tour wrapped earlier this year after a major North American run, and the tour became another major milestone in her career. So now the question becomes, what does Cardi B want to do next? And maybe that's exactly why she's taking a little time. Maybe she wants to enjoy the success before immediately jumping into the next thing. Maybe she wants to spend more time with her family. Maybe she wants to make music when she actually feels inspired. Or maybe she simply wants to enjoy being Cardi B. There doesn't always have to be another deadline. There doesn't always have to be another album announcement. Sometimes you can just celebrate. And that's what this New York night looked like, a celebration of music, a celebration of friendship, a celebration of fashion, and in some ways, a celebration of how far Cardi has come. There is something especially fitting seeing Cardi celebrate in New York, because New York isn't just another city for her, it's home. It's where her story began. It's where the personality that millions of people eventually discovered started taking shape. And even after becoming an international superstar, she still carries that New York energy with her. You can hear it when she talks, you can feel it in the way she jokes, you can see it in the confidence, and you can definitely see it when she steps outside in front of a crowd of photographers. She doesn't look intimidated, she looks like she's back where she belongs. And that's probably why these pictures are getting people talking. It's not simply Cardi B went to a party, it's the entire package. The outfit, the confidence, the music, the New York atmosphere, the cameras, the people around her, the timing, and the fact that Cardi is clearly entering this part of the year with a different attitude. She's not letting the internet rush her. She's not letting every criticism dictate her next move. She's enjoying the moment. And honestly, fans might need to get used to that. Because if Cardi B has made one thing clear recently, it's that she is going to create and release music on her terms. And maybe that's the healthiest approach for an artist at this level. The internet moves at lightning speed. One song goes viral today, and tomorrow everybody wants the next one. One outfit gets attention, and immediately people want another. One performance becomes a trending moment, and suddenly that's the new standard. But creativity doesn't work like that. Sometimes the best music comes when an artist has room to breathe. Sometimes stepping away creates the space for the next big idea. And sometimes the best thing an artist can do is simply live. That's what Cardi appears to be doing. She's living, she's celebrating, she's enjoying her people, she's enjoying New York, and she's letting the cameras capture the moment. So whether you came for the fashion, the music, the celebrity energy, or simply because you wanted to see what Cardi B was up to, this New York appearance delivered exactly what people have come to expect from her. A little glamour, a little chaos, a lot of personality, and just enough mystery to keep everybody watching. Because with Cardi B, you never really know what the next headline is going to be. One night she's releasing music, the next night she's shutting down a New York party, then suddenly she's trending because of an outfit. Then she's making everybody laugh with something she said online. That's the Cardi B effect. And after everything she's accomplished, maybe the most interesting chapter is the one where she stops worrying about what everybody else expects from her. She worked for this, she earned this, and now she gets to enjoy it. The cameras can keep flashing, the music can keep playing, New York can keep moving, and Cardi B can keep doing what she does best, being unapologetically Cardi B. Because at the end of the night, that's what her fans have connected with all along. Not perfection, not some carefully manufactured image, but personality, confidence, humor, ambition, and the ability to walk into a room and somehow make the entire room feel like something just happened. And judging by these latest photos, something definitely happened in New York. Cardi B stepped out to celebrate her music, looked incredible doing it, and reminded everybody that even when she's taking a break from the pressure, she can still create a moment without even trying. And if this is what Cardi's version of taking it easy looks like, then honestly, New York better be ready.